It's a final word. Adam Collins and Jeff Lemon. Lots and lots of England stuff. And as we sort of set up in the intro, Ian Botham talking about the ICEC report was always going to be entertaining, but like it's obviously a very serious topic, as we learnt with, well, not learnt, we read it ourselves, but talking to Yaz Rana a couple of weeks ago. Well, we read more of the report than Ian Botham has, but that's not a high bar.
Put it that way. Yeah, yeah, serious topic from not a serious person.
Yeah.
Barney Rono was writing about this. He was sitting next to me in the press box at Old Trafford, sort of working out how to write this piece for a couple of days. And I mean, it's completely unsurprising, but also extraordinary in a way, bearing in mind that Ian Botham is the chair of a county cricket club. He's notionally the senior person at Durham.
Oh, yeah.
They are an important club in county cricket. And his take on it was, well, I'm not racist. And so if anybody is racist, that's their problem. And also, I don't think many people really are. And so cricket doesn't have a problem. And I think this report's rubbish. And I think it's so rubbish that I didn't read it. And then, I read bits of it, and then I threw it on the floor. Then I threw it on the floor. So that's
a waste of money, nonsense were the other quotes.
Yeah, there. And then basically accused everybody in the report of lying. So there are, I think, 4,000 respondents to this report. So 4,000 respondents to the report have all got together and decided to lie about it in order to piss off one really rich guy. Who has everything that he wants in the world. And he's mad that they've reported that they've had negative experiences in cricket because he can't believe that would be true because his life has been one of having every door open for him wherever he's gone. Yeah,
it's unsurprising that Ian Botham would advance something constituting the big lie given his political persuasion and Trumpian political persuasion over, well, his whole life really, but he's in the House of Lords, of course, these days, just to bolster that point.
Totally. He's a legislator, not that he actually shows up.
Not that it matters.
So his voting record, I think he showed up for the first 3 months and hasn't been since.
Yeah.
His register of interests is entertaining if you want to have a browse through that.
There's a genuine cricket thing here though, right? So he's the chair of Durham. If he were the chair of anywhere else and made these comments, it'd be laughable because no other chair would do that.
It'd be newsworthy.
It'd be newsworthy.
No one else is reporting on it.
It'd be laughable. It'd be newsworthy. It would come with ramifications. There'd be consequences for being so blasé about this. Of course, there won't be consequences because there are rules for some and there are rules for others. And Ian Botham's one of the greatest cricketers to ever step through the gate. And as a consequence, he can get away with whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's the guts of it. And if you're a good enough player in England or anywhere, but in this context, you are protected. You are protected from having to engage on topics like this, and Botham shows yet again, you said it best, not a serious person.
Particularly if you're the person who captured the imagination of a lot of young men who then become old men who are in charge of things, then you'll get looked after. I mean, the fact that someone who, because they were good at cricket, got made a legislator in this place. I mean, the honour system in the House of Lords is an absolute broken joke.
Sure.
Through and through, as we see every single time some disgraced outgoing politician names 53 of their closest mates and gives them rewards for the rest of their lives. But why was Ian Botham rocking up for 3 months voting on like the Northern Ireland abortion bills and things about trout fisheries or whatever? You can go and read his voting record on the website. It's quite interesting. He showed up and voted on like everything for the first couple of months and then apparently got bored and hasn't been since, which is true to form. But it's good to get Lord Botham's thoughts on whether you should be able to get an abortion or not.
Yeah, well, this is his life, isn't it? He's been able to do whatever he wants and say whatever he wants. He's too big to fail. Kind of like what we were saying with Harmanpreet earlier, although very different parts of their cricketing life cycle. But in the same way that Harmanpreet has gotten away with doing whatever she wants, I mean, not 75% of her match fee, seriously. So it applies here. If you're a chair at that level, you have real power over the way, as Barney put it, public money is spent that's invested in the game and subsequently distributed. He's not some sort of tokenistic figurehead that just has this title to raise money or to help Durham along in their day-to-day activities. He's got actual power. And I'm sure the ECB cringed their way through that interview, as we all did when it was reported before the previous Test match that was played up at Manchester. But what can you say? It's exactly as you'd expect from someone who would have aligned himself a certain way and